Mwahaha! I tricked you into doing tapestry. It wasn't that bad, was it? Well, you're back, so obviously something's gone right. Now that we've done our tapestry, we're gonna move over to doing our blood curdling border. Ooh! This week I'm going to be teaching you how to do that border. So we're gonna be doing white and red. And then the blood's going to drip down, and I'm going to show you how to do a surface bubble. It's a lot easier than it looks, and it's super cool and effective. Let's get on to it. We've just completed our tapestry. Now we're going to make a beautiful frame for it. How we're going to do that is we are going to start by attaching black yarn into our corner. So insert your hook, grab that yarn, pull it through, chain 1. This chain does not count as a stitch at all. So we are going to single crochet 1 into that same exact stitch. And then we're going to single crochet all along the top 60 stitches. Go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you a little bit later. So you've continued crocheting along these top 60 stitches here, and in your corner you will have done chain 2 and then rotated your work to work alongside the rows. Now we are going to be skipping some rows as we crochet along the side, so make sure that you pay very close attention to your pattern. I'm going to demonstrate here for you a little bit of the skipping of rows. So you'll have come all the way up this side already. So pretend that all of this has the frame. We're going to go, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to skip that row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to skip that row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we are going to skip that row and do 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes it can be hard to see the rows, and that's okay. You might have to fight with it just a little bit. And then skip that row, and then 1 and 2. And then we are going to chain 2 to complete that corner. So 1, 2. Then we're going to slip stitch into the top of there. For the next row of our frame, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. That is going to count as a stitch, and we are going to crochet along the remainder of our top. So go ahead and do that, and then in your corners, you're going to be working 2 double crochets, chaining 2, and then working 2 more double crochets. So go ahead and do that. I'll meet you along this side. So you've gone all the way around doing your double crochets, and now we are coming to the end corner. Congratulations. So now we are going to double crochet just that last little bit for you. And once you get to that chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochets in. So right here. 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, and then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to double crochet 2 more into there, 1 and 2, and then we are going to slip stitch into the top of that chain. Go ahead and fasten off. For our blood curdling panels, we are not going to be carrying our yarn like we did with the tapestry, so we're going to start off by making some little balls that are ready for us to use for each blood drip for it to be easier for us. For the larger blood drips, we're going to need about 3 arms widths, and for the smaller ones, we'll need about 1.5. I'm going to show you how to make little balls right now. So you take your amount of yarn, you find your end, and I like to start with my 2 fingers and loosely wrapping them around. And then I like to take it off and pinch it, and then I go the other way to make like a little bow. And I kind of go in this direction here. This is just to make your life easier. Some people like to use pegs, others like to use bobbins. Just do what works for you. And there we have a little ball. For the small one, I'm going to do 1.5 arms. And there we have our 2 little balls of yarn. You'll need to make enough for all of your blood drips, but I'm just doing 2 for this example. So we're going to start with our white first couple of rows. I don't need to show you how to do that because you already know how to do that. What I am going to tell you though, as you are on your chart, you're going to notice that there are bobbles listed in the chart. We are doing those at the end on top of the stitch. So ignore those for now, and we're going to move on to the red. By now, you know how to change into the color red. So you're going to do your last stitch of your original color and then change to your new color, which is the red. So we are not carrying the white, we're just dropping it to the back. Gonna yarn over, do like so, and then change our color back to white. Ooh, there we go. And then for this example, the rest of these are going to be white for me. Continue doing that and be sure to follow your chart. So we're going to be coming back this way. We're going to be working in our white, doing our next red using our little ball here, and then we are going to continue in our white, and then we're going to be introducing our next ball. Then as we get to our red stitch again, we're going to change colors using the yarn from our little ball, and then changing back into our white. Six. And then as I'm coming into this last stitch of my white before the red, I'm going to introduce my new ball. Yarn over and pull through. And make sure your white is towards you here. And then changing back to my white. Okay. Awesome. And then going back around. So now we're going to be doing 3 2. And then I'm going to be changing my color. So now that this is facing towards me, my white's not coming this way, it's coming back behind. And then I'm bringing my red forward. Changing the color. And then I'm going to do the red on top of there. Changing back to my white. Moving that ball out of the way. Then I am doing 6 in white. Again, I am not carrying the red because we have those little individual balls or bobbins for them. And then changing back to red. Whoop, there's my ball. And we're going to change our color here. You don't want to pull too tight because you don't want your fabric to, you want it like this. Okay, now the difference for this one, because we've got 3 across, we're actually just going to carry the white yarn for that. So, and you know how to carry because we did the tapestry. 1 and 2 and 3, changing back to the white, like so. Drop your red. We're not carrying the red. Okay. Follow your chart for the blood panels and be sure to carry your white along the longer stretches of red, and then as you continue on, the rows that are full red, just switch to the red. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this swatch and meet you back. So I've finished my swatch here to show you, but you'll have a lot more blood than I will. Go ahead and finish your panel and I'll show you how to do the bubble. All right, so as you can see for my first blood drip, we've got the blood pooling with our little bobble here. I'm going to show you how to do this right here. On your chart, you're going to notice that it is labeled where the bobbles will go. We're going to start by doing a slip stitch. So I've done my slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook where it tells me in my chart, which is right here. I'm going to yarn over. And what I like to do is I like to pinch this like it's a sandwich just to make it easier. Pull my loop through, make that a slip stitch. It is a little fiddly, but you'll be okay. So we've got ourselves slip stitch into that stitch there. We're then going to chain 3. 1, whoops-a-daisy, 2, and 3. Then we're going to do our doubles into here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And you're going to yarn over, right? And you're going to insert it into that slip stitch. The first one might be hard, but then that yarn starts to ease up and it gets easier. Okay, here's 1. I've got 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. I've got 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, go into that same slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 again. We've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. We've got 4 loops on the hook. We're going to do that one more time. Then we're going to pull through 2. We've got 5 loops on our hook now. We're then going to go ahead, yarn over, pull through all of those loops. Look at that. Look at that little pool of blood. Cool. We're then going to chain 1. Boom. Now we're going to attach it. So how I do this is you just kind of grab that stitch there and you slip stitch it. This again can be a little fiddly. Be patient with yourself. Yarn over and pull through. Yay, we did it. Then cut your yarn, pull it through. And for this part, I like to use my hook to pull my ends to the back, so just go ahead and grab there. And then my other one is right over here, so I'm going to grab that, pull it in. And just like that, you have your little bubble. Starting the sides of your blood panels is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be working into the sides of these rows. We're going to start by going into the corner here. You're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. You're then going to work 1 into this row here. You'll work 2 into the next row. And we'll be changing to white. Change to white. We'll be doing 1 in this row. 2 in this row. 2 in this row. 2 in this row. 1 in this row. 2 in this row. Whoops. And then we're going to work 1 into the chain space here of the black. And then along here, you're just going to be working along the stitches. Be sure to refer to your chart. The way we change the colors is the same as we did on the top panel. And we won't be carrying color at all. Once you work your row all the way down to the end, be sure to come back up and work your panel the same way you did as the top panels. So I'll leave you here to follow your chart, and I'll see you shortly. So I've just shown you how to do the blood curdling border as well as the bubbles on the cauldron. Now this is going to add some nice texture overall to your blanket, and feel free to take your time with it. Remember, this is not a race, and if at any time you need any help at all, please go on over to the Facebook group and drop us a message. So I hope you don't find this week too scary, and next week is going to be our very last week together. So brace yourselves, we're going to be doing some really cool borders, and I'll see you next time.